You landed your tech job, you're making six figures, but now what? Most people stop there. They get their tech job offer, they celebrate, and then they just coast. They spend their entire paycheck every month, upgrade their lifestyle, and wonder why they're still living paycheck to paycheck 5 years later despite making 200K. I'm Chase, a software engineer at Meta, and I hit a $1 million net worth at 26. And I'm not telling you that to brag, I'm telling you that because if I can do it, you absolutely can too. I didn't have some secret advantage or insider knowledge. I just followed a simple playbook that anyone in tech can execute. And I'm going to tell you exactly how I did it and how you can do it too. Because here's the thing, getting the tech job is just step one. What you actually do with that money is what matters. But before we get into the specifics, let me be real with you about something that most people won't admit. Nobody is genuinely passionate about changing the UI on a landing page at Meta. Nobody is lying awake at night thinking, I can't wait to optimize this backend service tomorrow. Let's be honest. Most software engineers, myself included, view this as a paycheck, and that's completely fine. Sure, there are the 10x engineers who genuinely love the craft, the people who created programming languages, the staff engineers who are legitimately obsessed with distributed systems. Those people exist, but they're extreme outliers. Most of us, we're not those people. We're doing this for the money and the career progression, and there's nothing wrong with that. So if you're working for the paycheck, let's talk about how to actually use that paycheck to buy your freedom. Because what's the point of making 200K, 300K, or 400K a year if you're just going to spend it all and stay trapped in the 9 to 5 grind for the next 40 years? The reality is that tech gives you an unfair advantage when it comes to building wealth. It really does, because you're making more money in your 20s than most people will make in their 40s. You have the opportunity to compress decades of wealth building into just a few years, but only if you actually do it. Most people waste the opportunity. So let's break down exactly what you need to do once you actually have that tech job to hit millionaire status in your 20s or retire early through FIRE. I'm not a financial advisor by any means, but I'm going to share exactly what I did to get a 7-figure net worth while I'm still in my 20s. And just a quick note, I'm based in the US, so the accounts and strategies I'm sharing are US specific. If you're outside of the US, the core principles are still going to apply, but the exact accounts will be different. So first, let's understand the math. If you're making 150K to 300K in tech and you can keep your expenses reasonable, you can save and invest 75K to 150K per year. At that savings rate, you can hit $1 million in 7 to 10 years, even with conservative market returns. The math works, but the question is, are you going to actually follow through with it? Most people will not. They'll just get that big first paycheck and immediately inflate their lifestyle to match. They'll lease a Tesla, start eating out every meal, and suddenly they're spending like 10K a month. This is lifestyle inflation, and it will destroy your ability to build wealth. So here's what you actually need to do instead. So when you get your offer, do not mentally spend that total compensation number. Decide right now what percentage you're going to save. I recommend the bare minimum at least 50%. But if you're actually really serious about hitting millionaire status or retiring early, aim for 60 to 70%. It sounds extreme, but it's absolutely doable when you're making tech money. Let me walk you through the actual accounts and strategies you need to be using. So start with your 401k. Max it out every year. In fact, set it up so that the money comes out of your paycheck before you even see it. And if your company offers a 401k match, you better be taking full advantage of that because that's literally free money. Next, your IRA. But there are income limits for a Roth IRA, so you might have to do a backdoor Roth conversion if you're over the limits, which most of you in tech will be. You contribute to a traditional IRA with post-tax dollars and then immediately convert it to a Roth. So you pay taxes now, but then it grows tax-free forever. Then there's the HSA, which is the most tax-advantaged account that exists. If you have a high deductible health plan, you can contribute into an HSA, and the nice thing about the HSA is that it's triple tax advantage. So that means you contribute pre-tax, and your growth is tax-free, and then you withdraw tax-free for medical expenses. So the secret is that you don't have to use it now. You want to invest it, let it grow for decades, and then withdraw tax-free in retirement. Most people completely ignore this. If your company offers it as well, definitely look into the Mega Backdoor Roth. Not all companies have this, but the good ones definitely do. Meta has it, Google has it. This allows you to contribute after-tax dollars into your 401k beyond the normal limit and then convert those to Roth. So you could potentially put away an additional $40,000 plus per year. So just to recap, you have the 401k, IRA, HSA, and potentially the Mega Backdoor Roth. So that gives you honestly around like $70,000 per year in tax advantage space before you even touch a regular brokerage account. So if you're maxing all of this out, you're already well on your way to millionaire status. And by the way, if you want the exact resume template I used to get hired at Meta, click the first link in the description and I'll send it to you for free. But for now, let's get back to the video. After you've maxed out all your tax advantage space, everything else goes into a taxable brokerage account. And here's what you do with it. Buy index funds and hold. That's really it. VTI, VOO, whatever total market or S&P 500 index fund that you prefer, just set it and forget it. Don't try to pick individual stocks in my opinion, and don't try to time the market. Just buy the market and hold. Over any meaningful time period, index funds do beat active management. You're not smarter than the market, neither am I. So it's best to honestly just buy the index and move on with your life. Now, there is one exception, your company stock. So when you work at a FANG or a big publicly traded company, a significant portion of your compensation is going to be stock-based. So that creates a concentration risk that you really need to think carefully about. So from a traditional financial planning perspective, having more than 10 or 20% of your net worth in a single stock is considered risky. And when that single stock is your employer, that's even riskier. Because if the company has problems, you could lose your job and see your stock crash at the same time. But here's the thing, you need to look at your own situation and risk tolerance. If you're young with a high income, maybe you're more comfortable with higher concentration, because some people have honestly made life-changing wealth holding their company stock. I mean, look at anyone who held Nvidia, right? Look at Meta employees who held through 2022 and rode it back up. My general recommendation is to keep your company stock under 20% of your total portfolio. Anything above that, you just have to acknowledge that you're making a concentrated bet. That might work out great, but just acknowledge that you're taking an additional risk. If that makes you uncomfortable, just sell your vested shares every quarter and buy index funds. You'll sleep better and still build wealth. So we've talked about how you want to invest your money, but now let's talk about the other side, expenses. This is where most people completely blow it. They think because they're making $200K, they can afford a $4,000 apartment and $1,000 car payments and $500 a month on DoorDash. Every dollar you spend is a dollar that's not working for you. Every dollar you spend is a dollar that can't compound and buy your freedom. Here's how I think about spending. There's honestly almost nothing worth buying that comes close to the value of early financial independence. Cars that sit in parking garages, expensive meals that you forget about, new clothes that you wear a few times. None of that compares to having a high net worth in investments and knowing that you could walk away from your job tomorrow if you wanted to. None of that compares to being 30 and having the option to retire or work only on projects you actually care about. And I'm going to be honest, the way that the current system is set up doesn't make any sense to me. You graduate at 22 years old and you're supposed to work 40 years until age 65. By that point, you've already lost your youth. You've spent your best decades of your life working, and for what? So you can have a nicer car in your 30s? That's a terrible trade. So keep your expenses reasonable and live below your means. I'm not saying you need to live in a single studio apartment with 3 roommates or anything crazy like that, but you do need to be intentional. Drive a reliable used car, not a status symbol, cook most of your meals. I'm not saying never to spend money on anything fun, but be strategic. Spend on things that genuinely bring you joy and cut out everything else. For me, I'm happy to spend on travel, but I don't really care about fancy cars or designer clothes. So I optimize for what I value and just cut everything else out. And the key is to decide what matters to you and spend intentionally, not just let your expenses expand to fill your income. Because if you do that, it really doesn't matter if you're making 100K or 500K, you'll always be broke. Here's the simple truth. If you keep your expenses reasonable and save and invest aggressively, success is inevitable. The math works. A 25-year-old making 150K who saves 60% and invests it in index funds will have over $1 million by age 32, assuming even just 7% returns. So that's 7 years from college graduation to millionaire status. And if you want to go the FIRE route and fully retire early, the math works there too. Now, before anyone comes at me in the comments saying $1 million is not enough or $10 million is the new million, I'm not here for that debate. Everyone's number is different based on their lifestyle, their city, and their annual expenses. Some people can retire comfortably on $1 million, others need 5 million or 10 million. The principles I'm talking about apply regardless of what your specific number is. The point is building wealth aggressively so that you have options. But let me show you the basic math. Using the 4% rule, which says that you can safely withdraw 4% of your portfolio per year in retirement, $1 million gives you $40K per year to live on. So if you can live comfortably on $40K, which is potentially doable if you're not in an expensive city or you're willing to relocate, you can totally retire early. Or maybe you just don't want to fully retire. Maybe you want financial independence just so that work becomes optional. Maybe you want enough money that you can take a year off to travel, or switch to a lower paying job that you actually enjoy, or start a business without worrying about going broke. That's what financial independence gives you: options, freedom, the ability to make choices based on what you want, not what you need to survive. That's the real goal here. It's not about having a 7-figure net worth to flex on the internet. It's about buying your freedom. It's about decoupling your time from your money so that you can actually spend your life doing things that matter to you. So here's what you need to do. Just sit down today and calculate your savings rate, look at your income and expenses, and figure out what percentage you're actually saving. If it's under 30%, you need to make changes. Cut out the things that don't matter, optimize your accounts, max out your 401k, your IRA, your HSA, and invest in index funds. Keep your company stock position reasonable and stay consistent. This isn't complicated, it's just basic math and discipline. You want to max out your tax-advantaged accounts and invest the rest in index funds. Keep expenses low and stay consistent. That's really it. But most people are not going to do it because it requires delaying gratification. It requires saying no to things now so that you can have freedom later. But if you can do it, if you stay disciplined and keep your eye on the long-term goal, you will hit millionaire status easily in your 20s or 30s. You'll have the option to retire early if you want. You'll have time freedom while you're still young. And that to me is worth more than any car or any material thing you could possibly buy. So that's the exact process I used to build $1 million net worth in my 20s and set myself up for early retirement. And I know it works because I've done it myself, and I've helped others who want to retire early using the same process. Now, if you want to take the next step, click the first link in the description and grab the exact resume template I used to get hired at Meta. It's completely free. That's the same resume template that got me past the recruiter screen, and also I highly recommend watching the video on screen next, where I break down how to find tech jobs with low competition. Thanks for watching, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.